It's day 45, guys, of Lessons from My Mom's Camera, where I watch videos that my mom recorded when she was still alive. She passed away in 2024 from lung cancer. But before that, she loved to challenge herself and would do these cycles of challenges. This is the very first one where she did a 77-day cycle of waking up early, taking a walk before breakfast, coffee, and checking her phone. And she also shares a thought nugget for the day. And it's been such an interesting experience to hear the message and it be so timely and needed for what I'm going through at that very moment. So I'm so excited what her message is for today. Let's hear it.
Good morning and welcome to day 45. Awesome. That's what, just 32 days away from the end of my 77-day challenge. And just a quick recap, because people have been asking me, what's the 77-day challenge? Well, it is my 77-day challenge. It's not some big internet challenge. It's just me. My challenge 42 days ago, or 45 days ago, was to get up early in the morning, or at least get up in the morning, get dressed, get out of the house and go for a brisk walk before breakfast, before coffee, and before checking emails and phone messages, which was always the hardest for me. So I'm now on day 45. About a week into my challenge, I started adding some food for thoughts in the morning, and that just took on, and people were having fun with it, and I was having fun with it. In fact, today's quote is a response from something from my posting yesterday, and today's quote is courtesy of a friend, Jenny Ray, who said, "Optimists prepare for the worst and yet expect the best." So, okay. See, I didn't prepare for the worst. I don't have water. Oh, okay. Just clear the throat. Yeah, that's so true. And I read it and I said, wow, this is great. Actually, the full quote was, she was saying something about, well, pessimists are always worrying about the worst, but they don't do anything about it. On the other hand, optimists, they prepare for the worst, yet they expect that everything's going to go well, everything's going to go great. And I remember a friend who was just wow, she was a classic pessimist. She would always have, well, what if it's going to do this? We were going on a trip, for example, to another friend, and she was like, what if we don't find a way? Or what if when we get there, our friend isn't there, and we can't get in and all that? And I was saying, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Well, we got there, and it turned out our friend wasn't there. And she was like, oh, you see, I knew this was going to happen. And I said, well, do you have do you have a way of reaching her, or do you know where we could find the key? And she was like, no, I don't know. See, I just knew this was going to happen. And I said, well, I do. And I walked over behind the house. I had contacted our friend beforehand and said, well, okay, I know you will be there, but just in case you're not, how do we get in? It's going to be cold. And our friend said, well, go, and she gave me the directions to find the spare key. It wasn't in the usual place, it was the back of the house. So I was not expecting, or I was anticipating, but I got ready for it and everything was okay. But that was not a very good example, though. I guess I'm just so excited this morning. It's day 45 that I should have thought it through a little bit, the example for today. I guess I felt that this was such a, it was so me that I thought I could just explain it. And no, I'm not explaining it too well. Let me think of another example, or maybe one of my friends out there can post in the comments later on and help me to give a better example of how, when optimists deal with the situation, they're always prepared for the worst, but they're expecting the best. Oh, now I just thought of something really cool. I like to travel a lot, and I usually travel in a shoestring budget. And so I plan for the worst. Like if I'm especially going around Europe alone, I have everything prepared. I have all my identification. Like right now, there you are. See, I have my identification on my wristband or armband. I have all kinds of medication I might need. I have currency of, especially before the euro, I would have currency of the different countries that I would be going through, coins, and I just prepare as much as I could ahead of time. But then once I'd be on my travel mode, I'd forget about all those concerns. I just have a blast. And it's just nice to know that you are ready, just in case you need something. But usually you don't. And you just enjoy yourself and don't worry about what if I get mugged. I've been to places where if you think about it later on, it's like, wow, you went there alone? I'm like, yeah, but I was prepared. And you kind of know the routes. You don't ask for directions when you're there, because then you'll be a dead giveaway that you're a total stranger in the area. A lot of it is anticipation and preparation for what might go wrong. But then after you've done all the preparation, you forget about it. You don't worry about it. You have a blast. There. That was a better example. And so again, it is day 45 of my 77-day challenge, and I am heading out for my walk. The past few days I've been working on my breathing. I'm not really trying to hit a shorter time record, but I'm focusing on my breathing. I want to get up that hill and not be I want to be, at least relatively normal breathing. That's what I'm working on. So I'm heading up there. To all my friends, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful month, a wonderful life. I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Mama. Yes, I am determined to have a wonderful life. Yeah, it's one of those days again where I look at her video or listen to her and just wish she was here. And, life is lifing, and it would be so interesting. Obviously, where I'm at right now, the openness and receptivity to advice, in my mind I'm thinking, if she was here, whatever advice she would be giving me, I'd be very open or malleable. But then I'm thinking to myself, if she was here, then you guys would be butting heads. But obviously, now she's not here. How you wish that you could hear her voice and you could ask for advice in person or over a call, and where you're just yapping we'd be talking for hours and burning the digital phone line. But anyways, let's do the 2-minute impromptu practice for today. This is another iteration of yesterday's message, which is, I forgot what the message was, but something about preparing for be ready for the worst. Like something about the best. This is not helpful. Let's check what day 44 was. Let me pause this first. Okay, so the difference between yesterday and today. Yesterday was when you prepare for the worst, you often get the best. But today's rendition is optimists prepare for the worst and expect the best. So it's not kind of what's that? For yesterday, it was like you often get the best. So it's kind of like a side or an what is the term? Anyways, let's do the impromptu for today. Optimists prepare for the worst and expect the best. I guess when you allow yourself that room and create the capacity for different versions, different outcomes to possibly happen, then it gives you permission to also expect your ideal outcome, because you've laid down the groundwork for anticipating the not so ideal outcome, or let's just say the worst for it. Anticipating the worst. When you're prepared for the worst, it means that the ideal situation or the best situation is inevitable, because things are already in place, even for the worst case scenario. So you're pretty much aligning all possible paths and to converge to that ideal outcome. Yeah, both renditions are both versions are nice. I think because I heard it yesterday, not yesterday, like a few days ago, it landed more because of what I was going through then. And it's just interesting to hear it again now with a different version, but it still cements the sentiment of preparation, be ready for whatever life throws at you. That kind of spaciousness and capacity only allows you to receive more and to receive the best even. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And what I'm doing, actually. I've journaled like what I said yesterday. I am having conversations with myself about my fears, anxiety, preparing for the worst. And yeah, it's kind of a mental rehearsal of how I could behave, or what my response is should those things come into play. But if not, then even better. Anyway, guys, that is it for day 45. We'll see you tomorrow for day 46. Bye.